Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Akhtar Syajazul Karnain. I am a student of Class B and my student number is E1A025140 from the Faculty of Law, Jenderal Sudirman University. This video is present for the course English for Law, taught by Ms. Nisa Roy, SPD MESOL. In this video, I will analyze a legal case entitled Desia SA versus Region Emilia-Romagna, focusing on the legal issue, applicable law, and my critical evaluation of the court's decision. The first one is background of the case. What becomes the background of the case is a derivative transaction in the form of an interest rate swap. The case started in 2004 when Desia SA, a banking institution, entered into a financial derivative agreement with Region Emilia-Romagna, an Italian regional government. The purpose of this transaction was to hedge the risk arising from the large floating interest loan value at more than 500 million euros. However, the dispute arose after the Italian Supreme Court decision in Banca Nazionale. That ruling states that several Italian regional governments lack legal capacity to enter into derivative contracts. Based on this precedent, Region Emilia-Romagna argued that this contract with Desia was invalid, claiming that the transaction was speculative, it violated Italian public finance law, and the regional government lacked authority to enter into such an agreement. As a result, the dispute was brought before the High Court of England and Wales, which issued the judgment in December 2024, published in March 2025. Next is legal issue of the case. The main legal issue is whether the derivative transaction was legally valid and enforceable. More specifically, the court had to determine whether Regional Emilia-Romagna had legal capacity and authority to enter into the contract, whether the derivative constitutes legitimate hedging or unlawful speculation, and whether the contract violates mandatory rules of Italian public law. Next is relevant law. According to the legal framework applied by the English courts, the enforceability of the contract depends on principle of contractual capacity and authority, the concept of ostensible authority, and the distinction between hedging instrument and speculative financial transaction. From a comparative perspective, under Indonesian law, several provisions are relevant. Under Article 1320 of the Indonesia Civil Code (KUH Perdata), a valid agreement requires consent, capacity, a definite object, and a lawful case. If a regional government lacks authority or violates public law, the contract may be void ab initio. Furthermore, Article 7092 of the Civil Code regulates agency and power of attorney. If a public official signs a contract without proper authorization, the agreement may be invalid or cancelable. In additional law number 23 of 2014 on regional government required that regional loans or financial obligations obtain prior approval from the DPRD. Without such approval, the region government may be deemed to lack legal capacity. Finally, under law number 70 of 2003 on state finance, regional borrowing must serve legitimate public purpose. Purely speculative derivatives would lack a lawful cause and the prohibited. Next is evaluation of the court's decision. The court made a reasonable decision in upholding the validity and enforceability of the derivative transaction. The judge correctly applied the law when they conclude that the swap was legitimate hedging instrument, not speculative. Region Emilia-Romagna had granted ostensible authority and long-term performance of the contract constitute ratification. However, the critical point must be raised from a public law perspective, especially under the civil law system like Indonesia. The court's reasoning prioritizes legal certainty for financial markets over strict public finance accountability. The skeptic court could argue that allowing ratification performance may weaken democratic control over region financial decisions. Nevertheless, the court's decision is consistent with established principle of international commercial law, which emphasizes stability, predictability, and protection of good faith counterparties. Therefore, while the decision may be controversial from a public governance standpoint, it is legally coherent within the context of cross-border finance. And the next is ethical and sociality implication. This decision sets an important standard: the international financial transaction involving public entities. It signals that regional governments cannot easily escape contractual obligation by later invoking domestic public law, especially when they have benefit from the agreement. At the same time, it highlights that ethical necessity for government to ensure transparency, proper authorization, and legislative oversight before entering complex financial instruments. And the last one is conclusion. In conclusion, I agree with the court's decision to uphold the enforceability of the contract. The ruling balanced legal certainty with contractual fairness, although it also exposes weaknesses in public financial governance. This case demonstrates the tension between public law limitation and private law enforceability in international finance. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.